what's up, I'm Kabbaway, and this is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Ah! I just went into the wall. Ah! I can't ride for shit. This is Gerudo Valley! Oh no! Oh my god, I cannot. I'm so gay, I can't even ride straight. So what I wanted to talk about today was, I wanted to talk about what should have been one of the defining moments in my childhood or adolescence. Basically how I should have figured out my sexuality years ago, long before I actually did. So I got Ocarina of Time on the 3DS when I was 13 for my 13th birthday, and I completed the game within 3 months, I think. And the part of the game that fascinated me the most by far would definitely be Gerudo Valley. I always found it so exotic and fascinating, and the girls are absolutely gorgeous. So basically, I always found the Gerudo very fascinating. Not so much in a sexual way, just more that I appreciate their aesthetic. Like, I appreciate how, like, their large noses, their piercing gold eyes, and their red hair. Traits not often considered pretty. And their clothes. I just appreciated the whole aesthetic of the Gerudo. And they were so mysterious, and that always fascinated me about them. Now this is pretty embarrassing, but I used to spend a lot of time in Gerudo Valley just staring at the Gerudo, just examining their features and being able to appreciate it and be like, I'm terrible. Wow, she's just so pretty. Like, look at those petite little feet. And then, just look at this whole costume. It's so fascinating. Damn it, this is embarrassing. The Gerudo weren't the only female video game characters where I had this experience with. I would have it a lot with Final Fantasy characters, Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, and Dragon Age. Oh my god, there were so many pretty girls in that. But yeah, basically video games were they were pretty huge hints, and I never really got the hint because I was just like, I was raised in that culture where it was believed that, you know, every girl thinks that girls are hot, and that, you know, girls always find each other hot, and it doesn't mean that they're gay or bi or anything like that. I also happened to be around a lot of girls who would hold each other like a couple, but they were friends. So it was really complicated for me because I always kind of knew, because every time I looked at a girl, I would have that moment where it's just like, wow, she's so pretty, and her smile and her eyes and the way her face blushes and all her beautiful curves, and she's so good looking. And then when I looked at a guy, it was just like, yeah, so you got muscles. Yeah, very, yeah, is that what I'm supposed to be attracted to? Because I don't give two shits about it. This is what I'm supposed to be attracted to, and I don't give two shits about it. And even as long as I can remember, like, even my dolls, I was aware about it even then. I would cut the hair short on my Bratz and Barbie dolls, and I would get them to act as a male and female couple. But because I always took their clothes off because I was a total pervert, I was always aware that the short-haired characters were girls, even though I acted like they were a guy and a girl. I always treated them like two girls, but I didn't really understand it. I didn't have a name for it because I was so young. So all the way back in my childhood, I knew what it's so hard to explain because I was aware of it, but I wasn't sure. I spent my whole primary school pretending I was straight. It's such a cliche, but it's so true though. I would pretend to be boy crazy because I was copying off my older sister because she was boy crazy. And then I was copying off the girls at school because they were also boy crazy. I didn't really understand what all the hype was about, but I was kind of in that stage where I was really sensitive and cared what other people thought about me, and I just wanted their approval. So I would kind of go along with it. If a guy was even remotely nice to me, I would just pretend to be absolutely crazy about them. Yeah, which was pretty stupid in hindsight, but you know, we were all kids once, we regret things. But then I had my first girl crush when I was about 12? Yeah, I was 12. And basically, it just so happened that I went into dance practice early because, I don't know, something happened and I had to be dropped off early. And I was watching the older girls do this dance, and this was the first time I'd ever seen an unrelated girl in a crop top before. Like an older girl, like fully developed, not people around my age. And oh my god, I was just sitting in the corner. I was just sitting in the corner, absolutely mesmerized. Like, wow, they look so gorgeous. And I tried to walk out. I tried to walk out into the waiting room, but I just couldn't take my eyes off them. Particularly this one girl. This one girl was in some of my other classes, and she was really nice to me and was a really good dancer. And this was the first time I'd ever seen her in a crop top, and I was just like, wow. I did have a couple of other instances like this throughout my teenage years, but I was still kind of denying it. I did come out to my mum when I was 14 after I kind of got a crush on one of my dance teachers. But I don't know, she wasn't really convinced that I was old enough to really know for sure. And she wasn't convinced that I knew the difference between admiration and a crush. So that kind of put me off, like, really figuring out my sexuality for a long time. I continued having fake crushes on guys throughout my high school years. And but then in stage 6, this new girl came into our cohort, and she was very shy, didn't really know anyone. I was overseas on a holiday when she first came, and my friend, the only person I was really sitting with, had made friends with her while I was away. And when I came back, my friend introduced me to her, and you know, we were both kind of socially awkward, so we tentatively introduced each other. This mutual friend of ours, our mutual friend was kind of the glue that meshed us all together, but it wasn't until I discovered that she also went to dancing that I really started to click with her. And over the months, we just found that we had more and more in common, and we had the same sort of values and hobbies and interests, but we were still different enough for it to be, like, interesting. And even after that mutual friend left the school, we remained very, very close. Like, this girl, she was the closest friend I have ever had, without a doubt, absolutely. And 2015 was a pretty rough year in my life. A lot of personal stuff happened, which I won't go into, but basically this new friend of mine was there for me through it all, and she completely stood by me and supported me, not to mention with all the struggles with school and everything. And then we went on to 2016, which was our final year at high school, and I'm not sure exactly when it happened, but we both kind of became aware that things were changing between us. Like, I'm just seeing her come down the footpath in the morning, my heart would just like race. And when I woke up in the morning, she was all I could think about. I just wanted to make her smile and laugh and be happy. And when I went to bed at night, I was just hoping that she was okay, and I kind of wished that she was thinking about me too. And there was sort of this pining going on where I was completely aware that something had changed, and every time we'd hug, it was like we were both trying to push it out just that second longer, or we'd hold each other just that little bit tighter. And when we smiled at each other, we tried to make that last a bit longer. And at the time, we were very, very stupid, but we couldn't figure it out. Like, we wouldn't talk about it. But things were just growing more and more intense between us, and it kind of caused some misunderstandings. Like, we were kind of getting more, like, possessive of each other, I guess you could say. Like, we would be jealous whenever the other person paid more attention to another girl or a guy or something like that. And we both felt very guilty about that, but we wouldn't really get into why we were jealous. I mean, we kind of knew, but we were still kind of denying it to ourselves. And basically, after one of these instances, I was crying in the school bathroom. I was in a cubicle, crying by myself, and I was just thinking, why do I care that she's not paying attention to me? Why do I care? If this was anyone else, I wouldn't give a damn. And then I was just looking at this daddy long legs in the corner, and then it hit me. And I was just like, I'm in love with her. And then I just cried even more, because I was just like, I've ruined our friendship. If this incident doesn't ruin our friendship, then what I'm feeling right now will, because there's no way that she feels the same way. But anyway, we resolved it, and, you know, we got back to normal, except we didn't, because we were still pining for each other, but we just wouldn't admit it, and things got really intense, and every day I was just like, I'm gonna tell her that I love her, I'm gonna tell her that I love her. And then one fateful winter's day, we were sitting with a friend, and she was particularly religious, and she was talking to us about her feelings about LGBT people. And, you know, she took a very religious standpoint about how God created us to be man and woman, not two people of the same sex. And my friend and I, basically, we came to each other's defense. We were bringing up scientific arguments that it's completely natural and it's not harming anyone. And basically, after that friend went away, I kind of casually hinted at her, asking whether she'd been in love before. But then before she could answer, the bell rang and we had to go to separate classes. But then that night, she sent me this really long text, just basically thanking me for being a really amazing friend, and how I made her life just that little bit better whenever I was around. And then she basically answered my question that she hadn't been in love when she was younger, but she was sure that she had completely fallen in love. And then she said that she loved me. And that was one of the happiest moments of my life, when she said, I love you. And I know it was a text, but because we're socially awkward, we always knew that we were most honest when we were writing, because we could get our thoughts out clearly. And I knew from the bottom of my heart that she felt the same way, and I was so happy. I could barely sleep that night, and As soon as I saw her the next morning, I gave her the biggest hug and I was like, I love you too, I love you too. And basically from there, we kind of just became a couple. And now my girlfriend and I have been going out for 2 years and 10 months. So in August, we will be celebrating our 3rd year anniversary together as girlfriend and girlfriend. If it wasn't for me falling in love with my best friend, I wouldn't have figured out my sexuality until probably even later than I did. And it kind of amazes me, because it was there my whole life. There were signs literally everywhere. It was always there and I just didn't listen to myself. So I guess what I wanted to say is, if you have that sort of nagging thought like I did, that there's something about you that's kind of different but you can't put your finger on it, I highly encourage you to explore that, because you never know what you might figure out about yourself. There's no point trying to deny what you're already aware of. If you're aware of something, investigate that. Ask yourself questions, research what you're feeling or what you're thinking, and see if anything you come across makes sense to you. Because I kind of wish I had, because then I wouldn't have wasted so much of my childhood pretending to be something I'm not. So, yeah, that's kind of my philosophical message for you for Pride Month. And, yeah, basically, I just wanted to say that no matter who you are, whatever you identify as, whether you're gay, straight, bi, or whatever you are, it doesn't matter who or what you are. You be you, and you celebrate that. You celebrate that no matter what other people say, no matter what they do to you. Within reason, of course. Like, don't break the law or be immoral or anything like that. But yeah, within law and morality, be yourself. That's basically the whole message of Pride Month. And it doesn't have to be just for those who are gender and sexually diverse. It can be for cishet people too. You can celebrate who you are with us. It's about all genders and sexuality. So even if you're cisgendered or straight, you can totally celebrate that too. No one's stopping you from doing that at all. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So yeah, I just wanted to say, hope you all have a brilliant Pride Month, and hopefully I'll have more videos soon. I'm just very, very busy, as you probably are sick and tired of hearing, but I'll try and get there. Have a great Pride Month, and I'll catch you all later. Bye! You are pretty!